Computer networking day 2. Welcome back everybody. My name is Wisdom, your trainer for this entire series. In today's video, we'll be dealing with computer network devices. Without wasting most of your time, let's get down to today's class. So the first network device we'll be talking about is the hub. So the work of the hub is to connect your devices together. Let's look at this diagram below. So I have host A here, host B, host C, and host D. So this is my hub. So this hub connects these 3 computers together. Now if host A wants to send a message to host B, the limitation of this hub is that when the message gets to this hub, it sends the message to this same link and also send it to this same link to D. So both B, C, and D receives the message that is being directed to C. So when B and D receive this message, they discover that this message is not actually meant for them, so they discard the message. So if host C wants to still repeat the message, sending it back to A, it will still repeat to these same links connecting to B and D. So when B and D receive the same message and they discover that this message is not meant for them, they discard the message. So another limitation of a hub is that it is open for high security risks, because any data you are sending to a particular port duplicates the same data to every other port. So if a hacker is connected to your hub, that means if you are sending a message from A to C and we have a hacker here, which is the D, it receives the same data you are sending to C. So a hub uses what is called a half duplex. That is, it can't send and receive data at the same time without causing a data collision. And when this collision happens, it will corrupt your data and it will require you to resend the same data. Okay, half duplex means it can be sending message, A can be sending message to C and C be sending message to A simultaneously. Okay, so it means that A have to finish sending his own message before C can send his own message. So now let me use a live scenario for this. So if we have a car lane, a one-way car lane this way, so if this car is moving, this direction, remember this is just one lane, and another car is coming this way. This car is very fine. Another car is coming this way. There will be collision because this is just one way, and once there is collision between these two cars at a particular point, there will be a lot of damage. So that's what happens to your data when you are sending data through a hub and receiving the same data at the same time. There will be a collision and it will corrupt your data, requiring you to resend the data again. So let's see hub overview. So a hub is a layer 1 device, meaning that it has no knowledge of addresses at all. So all it does is to repeat any data that it receives. Okay, so it has one collision domain and also use half duplex, which I've already explained. It also wastes bandwidth. So a hub have a high security risk because any traffic that comes to one port, it duplicates that particular traffic to other ports, making it more vulnerable to hackers. Now hub is an old technology, so hub have been replaced with switches, which we'll be talking about in this video. So the next device we'll be talking about is a bridge. A bridge is a network device that divides a network into segments and improve its performance by reducing the collision and the bandwidth. So this is one network and this is another network. So this is a bridge here. It divides these two networks into segments. So it's just like a boundary between these two networks. So when I mean this is a network, I mean it is a LAN. We'll be talking about LAN in our later video. So this is a local area network and this is another local area network. So that means these devices are connected to this hub here. And for any of these devices to communicate with, okay, let's name this device A or network A and network B. So if any device from network A want to communicate with network B, it will pass through the bridge. Okay. So it does this by looking at the source MAC address of any of these devices and the destination MAC address. Okay, so a bridge is an intelligent device. So let me use a live scenario to explain this. So if you have country A and country B, in between country A and country B is a border. So if you want to travel from country A and country B, you have to pass through this border. So the decision taken by this security personnel in this border is what will determine if you will be crossing to the next country. So that's exactly what a bridge does. Bridge overview. So bridge is a layer 2 device, which means it can learn and understand MAC address. So MAC address is a media access control address. So we'll be talking about this in our later videos. A bridge segments LAN into smaller sections. A bridge has two collision domains. That means it can send and receive data from each network at the same time. A bridge has fewer ports. It is also an old device, so it has been replaced by a switch. Now let's talk about switch. A network switch is a multi-point network bridge that uses MAC addresses to forward data at the data link layer, that is layer 2 of the OSI model. So we'll be talking about this. It's a large topic on its own. We'll be talking about this in our later videos. Some switches can also forward data at the network layer 3 by additionally incorporating routing functionalities. Such switches are commonly known as layer 3 switches or multi-layer switches. We'll still talk about this when we go advanced. Just stay updated. So, but this is just a lot of grammar. Okay, so just understand, think a switch like this. That switch is a hub and a bridge rolled into one. So this is a hub and a bridge. So the combination of this hub and this bridge, it was give birth to a switch. So a switch connects different devices together and also learn which ports connect to which host. So unlike a hub and a bridge, a switch has many ports. Now let's look closely at some ports in a switch. We'll still explain this in our later videos. So we'll have the power LED, we'll have the reset button somewhere here, and this is the act status. So whenever you plug a device to any of these ports, it indicates the light of that particular port here. So here, these whole ports here are 24x Ethernet ports. I will also have 2 SFP slots over here. Switch is a topic on its own. We're going to be explaining different things you can do with a switch, different configuration you can do with a switch. So this is just an introduction to what switch look like. So like we said, that switch connects different devices together. So you can use switch to connect your router to your modem to the internet. You can still use the same switch to connect your PC. You can use it to connect your laptop. You can use it to connect your hard disk. You can use the same switch to connect your game, your recorder, and your television. All and it will be working simultaneously. Let's talk about router. Now, a router is a networking device that forwards data packets between computer networks. Router performs the traffic directing function between network and on the global internet. So data sent through a network such as a web page or email is in the form of a packet. So, but the simple definition of a router is a gateway between your LAN and your internet. So between your local area network and the internet is a router. Okay, so data sent over computer network such as the internet is divided into packets. Okay, packets. So packet is the small segment of a large message. So a router, unlike a switch, has small ports. So it doesn't have much port like a switch. So we'll be explaining router later in our video. So router 2 is a very wide topic on its own. So router connects two networks together. So if you watch, you have a different network here, 10.0.0.0. I'll have another network here, 20.0.0.0, and we'll have a router in between the two networks. So this is a full network, and this is another full network. Don't worry about these numbers, IP address. We'll be having a full video to explain the type of IP addresses we have and their classes. Router overview. So a router is a route between your internal network and the internet. So if we have a LAN, which is an internal network, a router is a route between this LAN and the internet. A router is a layer 3 device because it does not only learn and understand MAC addresses, it also understands IP addresses, which we'll be talking about in our later videos. A router has few ports, unlike the switches. Class activity. Please pause this video for a while and answer this question. Why is a router a layer 3 device? Drop your answer on the comment section below. Thank you. That is all we have for today's video. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do that. Like, share and comment if you learn anything, and please don't forget to do your class activity. Very important. So you can support by subscribing to the channel and also following us on our Facebook handle. Thank you guys, and see you in my next video.